All right. Are you all here? Make some noise in the chat box now. Are you observing yesterday also something happened? We got delayed. Then after starting the class also, it got stuck up. Today also, there was a power cut today. So we cannot do anything. But you know what? All this says that whatever may come, the tempo of the class will not go down from my side, from your side. I can see all the students live, and this is teaching us some lesson. This is how we have to do our studies. Always, when we sit for study, there are going to be doubts, fear, confusion. पढूं या नहीं करूं, CMA करूं, CA करूं या छोड़ दूं. It's not कि one time you are done, you have set your goal, written, and every day you are doing fine. It will happen. 20 years of teaching experience and it happens. Shall I retire now? Almost started with my 50th year. Shall I retire? Shall I leave? Shall I teach? This is going to happen. But it is in your hand. You have a choice. You have a choice. The more nicely, in a relaxed way, if you let go that resistance, after 2, 3, 5 times, it will go. Literally, if you're sitting for studies and ye doubt, no, just head on face it, flip it, write it. If there are confusion, two options, write it, journalize, you will empty your mind and study super well. So this is, called as resistance of mind. It happens with everyone. Like, it's so easy right now. दीप्ति मैम ने क्लास शुरू किया, चैप्टर 1 रिवाइज कराया, फिर क्लास बंद हो गया. अरे रिकॉर्डिंग है, लाइव भी है, बाद में देख लेंगे. लेट मी गो आउट नाउ, लेट मी डू समथिंग नाउ. Why 15 minutes we all waited for the power to come back, and then again we have started the class. So this is teaching you something. Every day we do some activity. Do you agree or not? Yeah, right? Those who have done DT, yeah, DT, some of you have missed the recording, no, at the end. Yeah, we are doing these daily activities, right? We have done. So I want all of you to write today in the GST class. Day 2 activity is. Today is day 2. We have done so many activities because however well I teach, however committed you are to study, if there is not supported by a strong mindset, मैम एक पेपर देख के मैं डर गई, एक क्वेश्चन देख के I missed, I went blank, ये वो, it happens. But then you have to sit and write 3 hours of exam and you can do it. It's just the resistance of the mind. And in this fast world of reels, we want fast. So we need to develop that patience. And this is coming like this. What is happening from last 2 days? Let us be more aware. You have a choice. Or if you want, you can write in bracket, I can choose. You have the power to choose and it will come by alertness. Ma'am, ये सब ना बोलने को बड़ा ठीक लगता है. But then after few times it goes off. No, it will not. Do you have this activity page? Right? We have done it in DT also. Many of you have joined now, then complete one DT lecture. I was so happy to see messages today in the morning. Ma'am, I'll do GST introduction and today's class both by today evening. Ma'am, I'll do house property 2 lectures in the evening and complete my backup. This is how you have to be accountable to your teachers. समझ में आ रहा है हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं, right? So today's mantra is you always have a choice. And after doing this also, many students, ma'am, all this looks good. 2, 3 times you do and you go back in your routine. वही pattern, वही mood खराब. It will happen 2, 3 times. Alertness के साथ. But earlier, if you went down till 4 steps, now again you'll go down till 3, 1. And sometimes it will key you go down and you come out very fast. So it's a process. If you trust, just remember this, I can choose now to get angry or not, to study or to just बाद में कर लेंगे. दीप्ति मैम का क्लास लाइव तो बंद हो गया. चलो, enough of all this, and thank you so much for trusting me and helping me to share this also. Now straight we are going to start with chapter 2, that is supply. Now let me tell you, every chapter is starting with some definitions. So what we will do is, coming 15-20 minutes, aram se, not by heart. No one is going to ask you in exam, define what is recipient, what is supplier. But let us use these definitions thoroughly and study it for once, so that in the third chapter, in the fourth chapter, again, if they ask those definitions, I'm not going to teach them. Okay? So we are starting with supply only, but in that some definitions are there. So over to the definitions now. Ma'am, what kind of questions are asked in exam? Then I want all of you to write here 4 marks questions, cases and examples they will give you, and they will ask you whether this is supply or not. And if it is supply, it is goods or services. I want you to write this. This will clear your mindset, beta. Like ITC practical question is asked. Value of supply practical question. So 4 marks question compulsory will come from this second chapter. They'll give you cases. So and so sold this, gave services. Is this supply? Yes. Then is this supply of goods or service? That's what is your expectation from this chapter. Starting with the definition of goods. Every kind of movable property. So I want all of you to write here immovable property, no GST. Please write whatever I am making you write. Yesterday only I told you real estate, there is no GST. Immovable property, no GST. Okay. Immovable property, no GST. Right. Now, goods means any kind of movable property other than money and securities. On money, GST is not there. It's outside the purview of goods. And on securities, GST is not there. Okay? Securities is your shares, debentures, वो सब पे GST नहीं लगता. But one thing should be clear. On money, there is on money, no GST. But conversion of currency. You know, when you convert your currency, you pay commission or brokerage. Yeah? On money, no GST. But on conversion of the currency, you go to a broker, you give them 1 lakh rupees, and against that, he should give you, say, $1 lakh. Just an example. He's giving you 99,000. 1,000 he's keeping his commission. On that commission, GST is levied. Same way, on securities, shares and all, there is no GST. But when you do the securities trading, you do it through a broker. You will have a broker or a bank or some account through whom you will buy and sell the securities. So on that brokerage, GST is there. Is this knowledge clear to all of you? Yeah? Right. So once again, I'm going very slow because these definitions we will use again and again. Right? So goods means any kind of the movable property other than money and securities. Okay? But it includes actionable claims. Actionable claims are goods. Ma'am, what are actionable claims? I'll teach you. And growing crops, grass and things attached to or forming part of land which are agreed to be severed before supply or under a contract. That is your crops. For example, spice farms. If you go to Kashmir and all, dry fruit farms. See, you can say, ma'am, ये तो immovable है, झाड़ तो. The plants and all are immovable. On that, no GST. But the product, what you are getting from farms, spices, dry fruits, crops, is it going to be movable? Yeah. So growing crops, grass and things attached to or forming part of land which are agreed to be severed, cut before supply, then definitely GST is applicable. If you have a confusion, GST is applicable. GST is not applicable. Not applicable के लिए cross mark, applicable के लिए tick sign. and GST is applicable on actionable claims. So come to the next page and we will do the definition of actionable claims. Here there is an amendment also. First, let me explain you in a layman's way. Actionable claim, the name itself says claim. You know, when someone is claiming, give me. So actionable claim is right to receive the money. When you buy a lottery ticket and if you win the prize, do you get a right to receive the money? Yeah. Casinos, you go and play the games. Okay. And then at the end, whatever are the coins you have won, can you encash it and get the money? Right? So actionable claims may, there are items which are liable to GST. Till last year, there were 3 items. 3 more items are added this year as amendment. So mark it very important for upcoming exam. Okay, once again, what's the gist? What do you mean by actionable claims as goods? Where you have right to receive. For example, if I've sold you the goods on credit, do I have right to receive the money? You are my datas. You should pay me money, right? Then that is chargeable to GST. Dekho. We'll read every bit, don't worry. Actionable claim have the same meaning assigned in section 3 of the Transfer of Properties Act. It means any debt other than debt secured by mortgage or immovable property or hypothecation, or any beneficial interest in movable property not in possession, either actual or constructive. Okay. Whether such debt or beneficial interest accrue and all. Example of actionable claims are unsecured debts, right to participate in the draw to be held in lottery. So it must be noted that actionable claim is specifically included in the definition of the goods. Okay. Transactions of actionable claim other than lottery, betting, gambling shall be treated neither as supply of goods. All auctionable claims are not liable for GST. What will come in the GST? क्या क्या आएगा बेटा देखो एक बार. Yeah. Transactions of actionable claim, lottery, betting, gambling. I have given this clear. In GST Council, taxability of 3 other actionable claims: online gaming, casinos, and horse races, which are chargeable to 28% GST, is prescribed. So now actionable claim means claims involved in or by way of. ये taxable है. These are liable for GST. Actionable claims which are liable for GST. I want you all to write, मतलब this I want you to read once. इसको ऐसे करके R कर लो. समझ लो कि where you have right to receive, it's called actionable claims. But what are the actionable claims liable to GST? Betting, gambling, lottery. ये तो पहले से था. This was there from earlier. Now added on is casinos, horse racing, online games. I hope you remember from this year online games पे 30% tax is there, TDS is there. So GST भी लगेगा at the rate of 28%. Take your time and ask me doubts. Because this is new definition added, they have given you online gaming. ठीक है. Mark this very, very important. Very important means we'll do star. What is liable for GST? Betting, gambling, lottery. This is like a combination. Added is casinos, horse races, online gaming. Online gaming means online gaming in which players pay or deposit money, including virtual digital asset, in the expectation of winning money. Okay, bitcoins, ये वो या online gaming सब पे लगता है, right? Online gaming means offering of a game on internet. हाँ, जो all the nowadays it's regularized, no? This online cricket से related games are there, some team 11 like that, और आपको नाम ज्यादा पता होंगे ना स्पोर्ट्स में, or PUBG and all this. So is it liable to GST? Yes, 28%. come back to the first definition of goods, which says goods means any kind of the movable property, including actionable claims and growing crops, excluding money and security. Excluding money and security. Nice and clear to all of you. Yeah. But when I'm talking about this, I want to talk about definition of money also. On money, no GST. It means Indian legal tender or foreign currency, check, promissory note, bills of exchange, letter of credit, DD, draft banate hai na, pay orders, traveler's check. When you don't want to carry cash, earlier people used to carry traveler's check, money order, postal or electronic remittance, which is recognized by RBI. All this comes under money. When used as consideration to settle an obligation, it is money. But it does not include currency that is held for numismatic value. Underline this. Numismatic value. You know what is numismatic value? I want all of you to write. Antique coins, old notes. You know, old notes are not running now in the market like 1 rupee note, or for example, after demonetization, 1000 rupee note was still there in my inner pocket of my wallet, and now it is with me. Is it like a legal tender? Can I buy anything with 1000 rupee note now? No, it's not applicable. है ना? I mean, से मतलब नहीं चलता है अब. So then it has become an antique. But if suppose I'm just having that passion, I collect old notes and I sell it, does it become goods? Is it liable to GST? Answer is yes. Please let me know, are you all having this material and are you writing this? And you have to keep patience. Today's class is definition and supply, which is a conceptual topic. I'm helpless कि क्लास को मजेदार बनाने के लिए मेरे पास कोई न्यूमेरिकल प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कराने. Of course, but it is going to be filled with at least 50 examples. 50 examples are 50 questions we will do. You want me to repeat or done? I'm looking at the chat box, both live also and in the Zoom also. Those who are live in Zoom can comment. ये definition clear है or is there a confusion? Tell me quickly. Tell me quickly. Read it, take your time. ऐसा नहीं है कि बस सिर्फ सब समझा देना है. Few things I want you to learn and take home. All clear? Thank you. Okay. So once again, अच्छा, but still I want you to write down because आप बाद में आपको confuse होगा. What is numismatic value? Old coins, you know, now we don't have 25 paise coin, 50 paisa. We have used it in our childhood. So these coins, if they are traded in the market, someone is having 50 coins of 50 paisa and they transfer it to someone for 500 rupees. Is it a transfer of goods? Is it liable to GST? Answer is yes. On money, there is no GST, but old coins and all, yes. Next is definition of person, just like income tax. In income tax, section 2, clause 31 is the definition of person. Individual, HUF, company, firm, LLP, AOP, corporation, body corporate, cooperative society, local authority, central state government, trust, AJP. All these are person who are liable to charge GST. Ma'am, government भी कभी-कभी GST लेती है? Yes. Yes. Okay. What do you mean by taxable supply? It means supply of goods or services which are liable to GST. Like as I said, money and securities. If you transfer securities, there is no GST because it doesn't come in the definition of goods. Taxable territory means the territory to which this act applies. So this act applies to whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. Non-taxable territory means territory which is outside the taxable territory. Okay. India. Why do we need the definition of India? Huh? At Goa, if we go, Chennai on the ports, in the sea, water sports are being done. So water sports are not done on land. वो तो पानी में, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. हम क्यों GST दे? No. Till 12 nautical miles in the water, it is India. Airspace, balloon rides and all are done. What do you do? That parasailing, paragliding. So all these kind of the activities done in India, are they liable to GST? Yes. So what is India? It includes territory of India as per our constitution, territorial waters, seabed, subsoil, 5 nautical miles down we are doing scuba diving. So is this chargeable to GST? मैं थोड़ी इंडिया में कर रही थी, मैं तो पानी के अंदर थी. Of course, yes. Continental shelf, exclusive. This detail तो is there in custom में, आपको diagram भी है इसका. And airspace above its territory. हवा में on, in air, on land, in water, it is all India. So it is liable to GST. What do you mean by manufacturing? Manufacturing means when raw material is converted and a new product emerges out, it is called as manufacturing. For example, I'm putting peanuts and I'm getting peanuts oil. Where are peanuts? Gone. Crushed and you get oil cake and you get oil. So what's the final product? Peanuts oil. So it amounts to manufacturing. Now, two very important definitions. In GST, we are not just selling goods always. We are giving services also, right? So, very important is the definition of supplier. Supplier in relation to any goods or services shall mean the person supplying the said goods or services or both, and shall include an agent acting as such on behalf of supplier in relation. समझ में आ रहा है? Who is supplier? Person who is supplying goods or he is giving services. Sometimes agent. When sometimes it happens that, for example, क्या हो गया? Yeah. So when say I am supplying the goods not directly but through my agent, and so many times the billing is also done through agent. So that agent also becomes a supplier. Is my speed fine? Are you all following all the definitions and everything? Yeah? अरे बहुत एनर्जी लगा के पढ़ा रहे हैं आपको, कुछ तो रिस्पॉन्स दो. दिस इज नॉट ऑफलाइन क्लास के आई कैन सी इनटू योर फेसेस. एक स्क्रीन ऐसे घूमते रहती है. Who is present in the class? Who is present in class absent? Who is confused? And please ask your doubts. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, clear, thank you. Don't think कि अरे बाद में पूछ लेंगे या सबको. Everyone is following. How can I ask doubt? GST is dynamic. Okay. So who is the supplier? Person who is supplying goods or giving services directly or through an agent. Recipient definition is very important, especially when I teach you time of supply. Recipient. Recipient of goods or services means where a consideration is payable for the supply of goods or services or both, the person who is liable to pay that consideration. Recipient, where a consideration is payable for the supply of goods or services, the person who is liable to pay the consideration. If I am supplying you goods, you are liable to pay me consideration. See, I am not saying money. It could be barter. I will teach you income tax. You teach Sanskrit to my son. दोनों को GST लगेगा. I am not talking about कि where consideration or where money comes. If I am supplying you goods and you are liable to pay the consideration, who are you? Recipient. Recipient का spelling देख लेना. दीप्ति मैम को इंक्लूड करके बहुत स्टूडेंट गलत स्पेलिंग लिखते हैं. RECIPIENT. When no consideration is payable for the supply of goods, the person to whom goods are delivered, yeah, or to whom the possession or use of the goods is given. Either recipient is a person who pays the consideration, and if there is no consideration, I may be giving free goods, free services. So who is the recipient? The one who is receiving. Third, when no consideration is payable for supply of service, the person who receives the service. I'll tell you how to remember. If anyone is feeling, Dipti ma'am ऐसा लग रहा है आप law पढ़ा रहे, अरे नहीं पढ़ा रही, I'll simplify it. ये देखो. Recipient is a person where who is liable to pay the consideration. No consideration is payable for supply of goods, then a person to whom possession of the goods is given. No consideration payable in case of services, then a person to whom service is rendered. Recipient is a person who gives consideration to me. If there is no consideration, recipient is a person to whom I give goods. Third, recipient is a person to whom I render services. Over and out. Underline the clue word, आप कभी नहीं भूलोगे. Any reference to a person to whom supply is made shall be construed as reference to recipient and shall include an agent. You know, sometimes I have to give the service to an agent. And agent comes in the chain of supply. मतलब billing भी agent के नाम से होती है and all. Then definitely agent will become what? Recipient. Okay, right. Money's definition is clear. No GST on money. Actionable claims, lottery betting, gambling, casinos, horse races, online gaming. Done. Services. Services means anything other than goods, money, and securities, but it includes activity relating to use of money. I told you, if you want your currency to be converted and you go to someone, or its conversion by cash from one currency to another and all. So services include facilitating or arranging transaction of securities. I know I have just taken this definition to be very frank exactly the way it is, but I'll simplify it. ये देखो. When you convert the currency and you pay the brokerage or you buy and sell the securities, okay, I want all of you to write here. Conversion of currency, transfer of securities, जो brokerage है, GST payable. It's liable to GST, right? It's liable to GST. Clear to all of you? Services relate, see, on money and securities, see, on money and securities, there is no GST. But services related to money and securities, yes, GST. Consideration. Huh? Consideration is what you pay me when I supply you goods or services. So consideration in relation to the supply of goods or services or both includes any payment made or to be made, whether in money or otherwise in respect of, in response or for inducement of the supply of goods or services, whether by recipient or by any person, excluding any subsidy given by central government. So consideration is what comes. Okay. It is in relation to supply of goods and services, any payment made, whether in money or otherwise. I want all of you to write here, barter. Subsidy given by central government is exempt. उस पे GST नहीं लगता. I want all of you to write here, refer value of supply. Value of supply is on what value I should calculate 18%. That time I'll say, if you say, sell the handicrafts of 8 lakhs and government is giving you subsidy of 3 lakh, you will charge GST only on 5 lakh. Got it? So consideration is any payment which comes to you in money or otherwise. Monetary value of act or forbearance in respect in response for inducement of supply of goods, whether by recipient or by any other person. Matlab, you know what? Consideration comes ki, okay, I will not open another store here. I will not do this. That's also a kind of service and consideration is coming. Right? Or it includes deposit. I think this definition will be more done with examples when we do value of supply. But ठीक है, एक बार के लिए थोड़ा पेशेंस रख के पूरे डेफिनेशन कर लो. When I start the supply, it will be very clear to you. Deposit not a consideration unless appropriated by supplier. However, a deposit given in respect of supply of goods shall not be construed as payment made for such supply unless supplier applies such deposits. You know, deposits are never a part of sale of the goods or services. Followed? Listen, I'll tell you. I'm going to sell you 50 boxes of, say, sweets. But because I'm selling you on credit, I want you to pay 1 lakh rupees deposit. Now, is this deposit consideration for sale? No, it's a deposit. I've sold you 50 boxes of sweets, 50,000. So my consideration is 50,000. 1 lakh is just deposit or caution money or security. When the transaction is over, I'll return you. For example, I'm giving you my property on rent. Is this liable to services, supply of services? GST लगता है rent पे? Yeah. But when I am giving you my property on rent for 50,000 per month, I am taking 4 months rent as deposit. 50,000 into 4, 2 lakh rupees आपको deposit देना पड़ेगा. So when I am receiving deposit against the services of the rent, is this 2 lakh rupees liable to GST? No. Unless it so happens that now you want to vacate and you are saying, Dipti ma'am, that 2 lakh rupees rent you utilize for the 4 months and after that I'm going bye-bye. That time. So though the language is tricky, is it clear to you what is consideration? What comes to you in money terms or anything else? Barter. I will teach you GST, you teach Sanskrit to my son. Barter, GST lagega. So that's consideration. It does not include subsidy. It does not include deposit. You will learn and by heart this when you do value of supply, question answers. But abhi se kiye to it becomes easy in the flow. Clear? Consideration in relation to supply of goods or services, underline this. Anything which is in money or other terms, but does not include subsidy and does not include deposit. Okay, right. Business, GST is liable to pay it on business. So now business ka definition बहुत vast hai. Business is not only selling goods and services, it could be one time. Like just because it is Diwali, I'll make some handcrafted diyas, put up a stall, earn the money and bye-bye. That's not my regular business. That's my passion. I did it one time. I'll organize an adventure camp for my students once. Adventure camp organize karna mera business nahi hai. So business definition is so vast. R for reading. You should know, have an idea. Okay, this is also like a business. इस पे भी GST लग सकता है. मैम एक ही बार किया. I am not doing adventure business again and again. Still clear to all of you? Thank you for the response that it's all clear. नहीं, learn करने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. Please just understand it. Business includes trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation, adventure, any other activity or a transaction in connection with 2A, or activity or transaction in the nature of A, whether or not there is volume, frequency, continuity. I told you one time also if you do, you're liable for GST. Supply or acquisition of goods, including capital goods and services, in connection with commencement or closure of the business. You know, when the liquidation is done, that time you are doing activities. Provisions by clubs, societies, admission for a consideration. You know, you join clubs and all. Services supplied by a person as a holder of office which has been accepted by him in course of furtherance of trade, profession, vocation. Like you become the member of these chamber of commerce and also that's also a kind of the business. Services provided by race club by way of the totalister or license and all on activity undertaken by central government. So everywhere in the book, if you see CG, it's central government, SG is state government, LA is local authority. So they will also charge GST. Okay. Now, okay, 2-3 definitions are only left. Otherwise, I thought to break this, we will take up little bit of supply. So after the definitions, I'll give you a break and then we will start with supply. Tomorrow also full class I will take supply to make you learn and थोड़ा जो लिखना है वो तो लिखना है. आ जाओ चलो. Related person. Yeah. Many times if it is activity with a related person, it is still liable for GST even though related person doesn't give me money. If I am supplying services or goods to related person, it is liable to GST. Yeah. Related person. Such person. This definition is there in the फाइनल में भी होगा आपको ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग हर जगह एंड आपके लॉ में भी है हाँ सेम काइंड ऑफ डेफिनेशन सो जस्ट आर फॉर रीडिंग अंडरस्टैंड इट सच पर्सन्स are officers or directors of one another's business. So they are related. You know, common directors. I am a director in A Limited. I am also a director in B Limited. तो A और B Limited क्या हो गए हैं? Common directors. Such persons are legally recognized partners. Are partners related? A, B are partners of the partnership firm. Such persons are employer and employee. Are they related? Yes. Any person. That doesn't mean कि employer-employee relationship is liable for GST. हाँ? Salary वो specifically एक schedule 3 है negative list उसमें exempt है. I'll tell you. वो कल के class में आएगा. Any person directly or indirectly controls or holds more than 25% or more outstanding stock or shares of both the company. Okay. So A is holding L Limited के 30% shares. Z Limited के 65% shares. A person is alone holding or controlling more than 25% shares of both of them, then L Limited and Z Limited will become what? Related person. Can you please draw this diagram? ऊपर वाला भी ये भी. A alone is holding 30% share in L Limited, 65% share in Z Limited. So are these two related then? Yes. One of them directly or indirectly controls the other. Here you are controlling the two companies. Here one company is controlling the other company. For example, holding and subsidiary. Holding companies having more than 51% shares of subsidiary company. So indirectly, are they controlling? Yes. Here, one person is controlling two companies, so they are related. Here, one is directly controlling the another, holding subsidiary. Likh do. Both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person. Same but reverse. L Limited is controlled and Z Limited is controlled by A. इसी का reverse. So they are said to be related person. Together they are directly or indirectly controlling a third person. Okay. They are the members of same family. What is the definition of family? Will do. Person who are associated in the business of one another, in that one is the sole agent or sole distributor, however described. When someone is your sole distributor, he does business only for you, then he is related to you. And family means spouse and children, parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters only if they are dependent on you. Dependent on what way? Financially. Parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters are relatives in the GST only if they are financially dependent on. Write down this. You can also teach something to Dipti ma'am. Have you studied these definition in law? कहीं पे? Once I cleared my CA final, मैंने कभी law का book खोल के नहीं देखा. No, I really don't know anything. Acha, local authorities just like those who govern. Read it. Panchayat, municipality, Zilla Parishad, district council and all. Now different kinds of supply. ये बाद में करेंगे. We'll quickly take a break. Check your watches. Be back exactly in 5 minutes. And we are starting with the most important topic for 4 marks. Is this supply or not? And if it is supply, is it supply of goods or services? ठीक है? Okay, are you all back? Ready to start with section 7, which is most important. 4 marks question asked in exam, and generally marks are lost because we don't know how to write the answer. Whether this is supply or not, and if it is supply, is it supply of goods or not? And there are some supply, even if there is no consideration, it is treated as deemed supply, GST lagega. There are some supply wherein there is consideration. For example, medical related services or crematorium or employer employee, these are services. There is supply, but then there is no GST. They are specifically covered in schedule 3, which is called as negative list. Okay, if you want to score exactly the marks, whatever way you call it, thoda sa likhna padega so that you learn it. So open your notebooks, and we are starting now with section 7 and 8. So chapter 2. Chapter 2, it is all kinds of supply. It is talking, which is covered under section 7 of CGST Act 2017. This is just the way to write. If you can write like this, it will be very nice. Now, what are the parameters? Parameters or elements of supply. Okay, if this is satisfied, it is supply. Learn it while writing it. Okay, how to learn it and all, I'm making you clear now. Write down. Point number 1. Supply should be of goods. This is like a second revision of definition also. Supply should be of goods. Supply should be of goods or services, excluding immovable properties. Anything movable is only supply. So excluding immovable property, money, and securities, including, please write it because you have to write 3 hours paper in exam. I know whether you call it as exam oriented batch or live, matlab rose routine regular batch or practice batch, this is the way it has to be studied. Somewhere when I'm doing problems, I'll give you homework also. Supply should be of goods or services, excluding immovable property, money and securities, no GST, including lottery, betting, गैम्बलिंग. ये तो पहले से था. एड ऑन क्या हो गया? कैसीनो, ऑनलाइन गेमिंग and horse races. Supply should be either of goods or services. It may be lottery, betting, gambling, casino and all, including but excluding movable property, money and securities. Second is supply should be for consideration. It's not money terms. It could be barter. It could be exchange. I'll sell you books and I'll buy car from you. Like that, it could be anything. But there has to be some consideration. Ma'am, but sometimes without consideration also it is treated as supply. We have heard that's called as deemed supply. Third is supply should be in course of furtherance of business. I want you to write this language in 4 marks exam. Furtherance of business. Supply should be in course of furtherance of business. Furtherance of business is like it should be related to business. I'll give one example to, I want all of you to underline this. Further of business. Listen, all of you. At my home, it's Diwali time. So I want to sell my old washing machine and my OTG. And I want to get a new dishwasher against that. Okay. So I do a deal with a showroom ki washing machine nahi chahiye, mujhe OTG nahi chahiye, leke jao. And in exchange, I want to buy a dishwasher. So dishwasher mein kitna kam hoga, and I purchased it. Now, have I done supply of goods? Yes. But is it my business? Oh no, Dipti ma'am is teaching. This is the shopping. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं. So if you supply goods or services personally, it's not related to your business, not liable for GST. Followed? Right? So it has to be related to business. Personal supply of goods and services are outside the purview of GST. So what are the three things we have done until now? Oh, second. By mistake we opened. ऐसे क्यों हो गया? Yeah. Supply should be of goods and services. Underline this. It should be for consideration. It should be for furtherance of business. Very important now. I want you to write and learn it. Supply should be by taxable person. Taxable person. This means जो सर्विसेज दे रहा है या जो गुड सेल कर रहा है, सप्लायर should be registered. Then only he can charge GST. Supply should be registered. This is explanation. Buyer may or may not be registered. Buyer can be end-use consumer who is not registered. He is taking home this product. For example, I'm selling this camera which I'm using. Okay. So I am a registered supplier. I buy and sell cameras. I'll charge GST. But you are buying the camera for your personal home. So very important is supply should be by a taxable person. Is my speed fine? Are you able to write with understanding so that you write in exam and get 4 out of 4 marks? There are different texts. Koi class mein you will just listen. You will not write anything. Supply should be by a taxable person. Next. Yeah, buyer may or may not be taxable. Chalega. Supply should be taxable supply. Supply should be taxable supply. Ma'am, what is taxable supply? I told you there are some supply like services related to employer-employee, crematorium, services related to mortuary, services related to health. These are not taxable supply. They are exempt. तो GST नहीं लगेगा. Supply should be taxable supply. It should be taxable. तो GST लगेगा. Check now. Parameters of supply. Take your time, read it. I know some of you may be feeling I'm going very slow, but then this is required. Supply should be of what? Goods and services, including lottery, betting, gambling, casino, online, and horse races, but excluding that. Supply should be for consideration. Supply should be for furtherance of the business. Supply should be by a taxable person. Who is taxable person? Registered person. Buyer may or may not be taxable. Chalega. Supply should be taxable supply. Is this clear to all of you? Thank you. Clear. Okay, can you repeat the third point? Sure, I will. Supply should be in the course of furtherance of your business. You know, furtherance of businesses, supply should be in course of your business. You should be doing business. Okay. One time you come to my home and I give you home cooked food and you really love having it. You come one more time, I give you the same. But I am not doing catering service. So will I charge GST? No. That's out of love and affection. You're coming to my home and I'm asking you, मैं खुद lunch बनाती हूँ आप खा के जाना. So supply to be liable, to be taxable should be in course of furtherance of business. Is it your business to sell these goods? Is it your business to give these services? You're liable for GST. If it is personal, as I told you, home AC, it's not working. Let me sell it on OLX. I'm just selling it. Should I charge GST? Oh, sale, no. Supply of goods and services, no. Because that's not for my furtherance of business. Is it now clear? It's very simple. Supply of goods or services should be related to your business. Any more points? Is there a confusion? And if this point is clear or not? Thank you. Chalo. Aajo. Come to your notebook. I mean, say this notes material compiler. Elements of supply. Taxable event is supply of goods or services. But what are the parameters? Supply should be of goods and services. It should be for consideration. It should be in course of furtherance of business. It should be made by a taxable person, and it should be a taxable supply, not exempted or nil. Take your time to learn it. कोई सही में नींद में से उठा के पूछे तो you should know this. Is it interesting or not? समझ में आ रहा है आप सबको supply? Not only this, dear students, even the third chapter is not exactly theory, I can say, but conceptual. But abhi we will do lot of examples by the end of the class today. तो जैसे जैसे example करेंगे और clear हो. So now is it clear to you? Let us see all the elements, meaning, scope, everything of supply along with 3 schedules. Schedules are a part of the section or the act. Schedule 1 is activities to be treated as supply even if without consideration. Team supply, even if there is no consideration, it's a supply. Ma'am, why? I'll show you the example. Schedule 2, we'll do tomorrow. आज सिर्फ ये और यही करेंगे. These 3 we will do tomorrow. Schedule 2 is activities to be treated as either supply of goods or services. Okay, this is supply. But is it supply of goods or services? Activities or transactions which shall be treated neither as supply of goods nor as services. I want all of you to write here. Many times it is called as negative list or exempted supply. Negative list or exempted supply. Ajo. Supply includes all the kinds of the supply of goods or services, sale, transfer, barter, license, lease, rental, and all made for consideration. That too in course of furtherance of business. Import of services for consideration, whether or not in course of furtherance of business. ये इसको भी पूरा अभी pending रखो. ये एक ही first ही पढ़ते हैं. Section 7(1). Mark this flowchart also very important. But now I'm directly going to the first one. Supply should be for consideration in course of furtherance of business. Okay? So now let us see कि supply includes what. This is all for your understanding. और अभी examples आते जाएंगे. ये देखो example 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. ये सब like this example is already asked for a 5-mark question. So examples are nothing but what is going to come out of this in exam. देखो. Supply for a consideration of a person in course of furtherance of the business. Okay. Supply should be of goods or services. Supply of anything other than goods and services will not attract GST. Now, supply includes all the form of goods and services and all. Supply not only includes the sale, but transfer. Outrightly, I have given my right to you. Or barter, exchange, license, rental. Is rental also like supply of service GST लगेगा या लीज पे GST लगेगा या disposal मतलब sale. So it's like supply of goods I have disposed of, लेके जाओ नहीं चाहिए. Activities between a person other than an individual and its member constitutes for consideration included in supply. Yeah. So activities between a person. Person means club. ये जो clubs और सब होते हैं ना, when they do the activities, they supply goods. You are a member of, say, Nizam's Club, Hyderabad, and you go and do swimming over there. Then you go to restaurant. So are you liable to pay GST? Yeah. So it is the business of the club to give services to members. But it's not that supply is just sale. It could be transfer and all this. So just understand this term. This whole page is for reading. Sale and transfer. Sale is the act of selling, specifically transfer of the ownership. You know, like what we call it sale of goods. When do you call it as sale? When all the rights and rewards of ownership goes from buyer to seller. Yeah. For example, a shopkeeper selling shirt to a buyer. Against that, he is giving money. Transfer has been defined in some Black's laws declares to convey or remove one place to another, specifically to make over stock transfer. Stock transfer is when you are sending the goods from one branch to another. Is that also treated as sale or transfer? Yes. Stock transfers are also treated or GST लगता है. Right? Okay. Next is barter. Barter, we all know it's exchange of goods and services. I'll sell you this product, you give me this. I'll give you this service. So is it liable for GST? Yes. Example, buying a new car in exchange of old. A chartered accountant supplies accounting services in consideration to interior decorator doing his work. समझ में आ रहा है? So barter पे भी GST लगेगा. License, lease, rental. I am allowing you to use my property. Against that, you are paying me rent. What is lease, dear students? It's like rental only, but for a long term. Lease agreement are 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. License. You can operate this in this area. You got a right. License is like a right. Supply should be for consideration. Yeah. Money should come or some consideration should come. Then it is treated as supply. तो इसके एग्जाम्पल में कुछ दिया है आपके पास यहाँ. Supply of example, supply of artwork to galleries not recorded as supply and not liable to GST as there is no consideration flowing from the gallery to artist. Only when the artwork is sold. It is only when the buyer selects a particular artwork displayed, then actually it will be treated as supply liable to GST. समझ में आ रहा है? I have supplied my paintings to be put up in a gallery. Supply of paintings. Is there any consideration coming from the painting gallery? No. But when my painting is sold or auctioned, now is it coming? Yes. So for supply, very important is that consideration should come. Maybe in money or in whatever form. So if gift or donation is made to charitable organization, then GST is not charged, as payment has the characteristics of gift or donation and purpose is philanthropic and not commercial. समझ में आ रहा है? I go to a temple and I donate 2 laptops over there. I'm not taking anything in consideration. So it's not liable to GST because what's the definition of supply? It should be of goods and services. So true, I'm supplying laptops, but then I'm not taking any consideration. Exempt. Are my examples clear, or you are feeling we are going fast? We are just like in a very broad way, we are discussing the definitions. Abhi we are doing in bits. Tomorrow also same class. When we do mixed supply, composite supply, or thoda in-depth hoga, repetition hoga. So, supply is like sale, barter, rental, all. In this latest amendment, they have added no claim bonus cannot be considered as consideration for supply provided by the insured to the insurance company. Now, first of all, what do you mean by no claim bonus? Okay. So, suppose I have taken a insurance policy. I want all of you to write one example here. ये खुद ही एग्जाम्पल है इसमें एग्जाम I've taken a policy for my business building 10,000 premium and NC no claim nothing went so you all know building and all we take insurance for 12 months and if nothing goes wrong it's done it will lapse again you'll have to take you'll not get anything in return only if it is life insurance you get things in return okay so here it is policy of 10,000 first year second year it's 15,000 no claim third year it's not 20,000 no claim fourth year they said that the policy value is 25,000 okay now listen it's very interesting I am arguing with the department you know how we argue with our sabji wala and all na so I'm arguing with the vendor कि मेरे को sir last 3 years I have taken the policy and I didn't claim anything so you only earn from me so can you reduce my premium for this year for 25 okay they said we will give you no claim bonus NCB write the example because the insurance company earned from me 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and I didn't claim anything, sir. So they want to give me a no claim bonus. It's like discount. And they are saying, okay, your policy value is 80. Now, no claim bonus cannot be taken as consideration or supply. Insurance company has supplied services to me for 18 or 25, not 25, 18. I hope you are getting. Whatever premium I'm paying, it's liable to GST. So my net premium is 18. So if you say, ma'am, GST will be on 25, that means on no claim bonus also you are charging GST, which is wrong. My premium is 25, but I'm getting no claim bonus from insurance company and I'm paying 18. This is frankly a very advanced level, maybe asked in final. But आपके amendment में तो दिया है no claim bonus. Okay, take your time, write it, ask your doubts if you have any. Write the example, and if the example is not clear, please ask me. I'll again clear your doubt. Read it. No claim bonus cannot be considered for as a consideration for any supply provided by the insured to the insurance company. So we are discussing the features in detail. It should be supply of goods or services. It should be for consideration. So when I supply my paintings to gallery, there's no consideration. जब पैसे आएंगे तो देखेंगे. And it should be related to business. Personal supply of goods and services. कभी देखा है किसी को GST charge करते हुए? Supply shall be made for a consideration by a person in course of furtherance of the business. Supplies which are not in course of furtherance will not qualify as supply except in case of import of service. I'm coming to that. For example, an individual who buys a car for personal use and after a year sells it to car dealer. Okay. Will this qualify as supply? No. Because supply is not made by individual in course of furtherance of business. It's not my business to keep selling car. I only have one car and I have sold one car. So on that one car, should I charge GST? No. Further, no input tax credit was admissible on the car at the time of acquisition. When you purchase the car, you didn't claim ITC, input tax credit, क्योंकि वो आपका personal asset था. So when you sell the car, it's a supply. There is money consideration coming in, but it's not furtherance of business. Ma'am, if any of one or two conditions satisfy, no. All the parameters. Is car sold a supply of goods? Yes. Is it for consideration? Yes. But is it related to furtherance of business? No. Next. Supply should be made by a taxable person. To attract GST, supply should be made by taxable person. Supply between two non-taxable person does not constitute supply. Restriction of being a taxable person is only on the supplier, whereas the recipient can be either taxable or not. I made you write this. Recipient can be taxable or not, but hum to taxable only. Because I want to charge GST, so I should be a registered person. Na? Supply should be taxable supply. For a supply to attract GST, supply may be taxable supply. Taxable supply has broadly been defined. Supply of goods and services which are liable for GST. They will be like taxable supply. Agar exempted supply hai. Now here I'll go and turn back the page and go to some definition. Ye dekho. Exempted supply. Supply which is exempt under section 11. सिर्फ अभी ऐसे block में mark करो. It's exempt. On this, no GST is charged. Like you take a property on rent, you have to pay GST. But if you take a hall on rent inside the temple for a puja, do you have to pay rent? Yes. Is it liable for GST? No, because it's exempt. Temples giving the property on rent exempt. So exempt supply nahi chalega. It should be taxable supply if you want to charge GST. It should be taxable supply. Non-taxable supply means a supply of goods which is not liable. Inward and outward supply मैंने आपको. So here we complete the first aspect. Please let me know how is the speed and you all are following or not. I know I can little thoda or brief up, but as I told you, you have to write an exam. Supply has to be supply of what? Goods or services. It should be for consideration. It can't be free. If it is free, it's not supply. It should be by a taxable person. It should be taxable supply. I am a registered person, but then I am selling exempted goods. तो नहीं आएगा, right? और एक क्या miss हो गया? Yeah, and it should be related to business. Clear? So these are the 5 conditions. If they are satisfied, it is a taxable supply liable for GST. Huh. Now comes the next table, very important for exam. Mark it very important for question and answer. The question what I have given here, it is already asked for 5 marks in exam. Now we are talking about import of services. So if you remember in the day when I told you, if not once again you write, import of services is treated as interstate supply liable to IGST. ये कहीं header में भी लिख दो और ऊपर भी लिख दो, notebook में भी लिख दो. See, when you import the goods, no, you are not liable for GST. Are you all with me? Import of the goods, you are not liable for GST. Why you are not liable for GST? Because you are paying what? Custom duty. But when you are importing services, see, like I'm from Hyderabad, yahan pe, in the city of the Hyderabad, there's a lake in the middle. Please listen to this because there's a part of actually your customs and GST. So in the heart of the city, there's a lake called as Tangment. In that, from a single stone, one Buddha statue is made. When they brought it through big trailer trucks and they installed it in the Tangment, that statue fell in water. Pani mein gir gaya. They decided to erect it in the center of the lake pillar and they had planned, but they got sunk in water. So we imported the services from foreign technicians were called. Their team was called and we asked them to help pull it up with crane and fix it. They did the work. Foreign technicians. Have they rendered services in India? Yes. Is it liable to income tax? Yes. Is it liable to GST? Yes. Because I have imported the services. So when you import goods, you are paying custom duty. When you are importing services, it is treated as interstate sales liable to IGST. But subject to some conditions. What are those conditions? Let us see. इंटरेस्टिंग समझ में आ रहा है आपको एक एक बिट या import of services with consideration whether or not in course of furtherance of business. Yeah, it is applicable only for import of the services, not for goods, because goods is liable for custom duty. Services should be for consideration or it should be for furtherance of business or not. This implies that import of the services, even for personal consumption, would be. I'm calling an advocate to fight my personal case with my brother. Some property, कोई property case नहीं चल रहा है, just example दे रही. So some property cases going on with my brother, and to fight that, I have called some advocate from UK, London. So am I importing the services? Yes. Is it for consideration? Yes. Is it related to business? No. Still, is it liable for supply and GST? Yes. Yeah. So for this, just remember this flow chart. अब इसको कैसे लिखेंगे ये हमको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा, बट करेंगे अभी. अच्छा. Import of services with consideration. You have imported the services and it's related to your business. Of course, it's taxable supply in GST. Import of services with consideration, not in furtherance of business, means personal service. But you have imported the services. You have paid money, but it is personal service, property related case. Still, it is liable. Abhi I am taking the last one. Import of services without consideration. पैसे नहीं आ रहे कुछ. And other cases, not even related to business. See, any one of it should be there. Either it should be for consideration or it should be related to business. Yeah, then it is not taxable. Now, this one is different but very important. Import of services without consideration. पैसे नहीं आ रहे. Related to your business. From a related person or a distinct person. Of course, you are liable to. Take your time. Abhi to I have just made you understand. I'll solve one question and make you learn also. First of all, very important is, are you importing services? Is there a consideration? No. पैसे ही नहीं आ रहे हैं. But then these are import of services between related person. Who are related person? वो बताया था ना. Common directors, one person holding more than 30% share and all. Or distinct person. Yeah. Distinct person is like, I'll tell you exactly. and it is related to business, it is liable. We call this as deemed supply. That's why I'm saying I'll take 2 classes, because all this I'll have to repeat again. तभी वो बार बार दिमाग में बैठेगा. I know it's a fast track कि एक बार पढ़ा लिया आप कर लेना, but करेंगे. See, first of all, let us check what is related and distinct person. फिर ये question, फिर ये definition. डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन का डेफिनेशन मैंने कहीं दिया था. A person with the same PAN who has obtained or is required to obtain more than one registration. You all know that GST registration is state-wise, dear students. So with my PAN card, Dipti Chheda's concept classes, Hyderabad, I am opening another branch, Dipti Chheda's concept classes, Delhi. With the same PAN, I'll have to take 2 registrations. Then my Delhi branch and Hyderabad branch, they will call as what? Distinct person or related person, because with same PAN, 2 different registration. So if with the same PAN one has obtained more than one registration in same state or union territory, then for every registration it shall be treated as distinct person. Okay? Separate registration है तो वो distinct person हो जाएगा. Person with same PAN, same registration for 2 places, supply between them will not be treated as deemed supply. But person with same PAN, separate registration for 2 places, supply between them will be treated as deemed supply. पहले distinct person समझा. I want a message from all of you. थोड़ा break करो और comment करो. Is distinct person clear? Related person clear? So you are importing the service without consideration. Okay, related person is clear, distinct person. कभी कभी क्या हो जाता है ना बेटा? Yeah, sure. Sometimes what happens, you understand it, but it takes time, no, for the mind also to register. So no problem. I'll repeat. Related person is, as we have seen, common directors and one person holding more than 30% share in 2 company and so on. They are related person. Or your family is your relative, spouse and children, parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters are also relative, provided they are financially dependent on you. They are not earning, you are only taking care of them, right? Now, what is distinct person? With the same PAN, entities are having 2 registration, maybe in the same state because of different verticals. See, Dipti Chheda concept classes, I'm doing CA coaching. Now, Dipti Chheda with this same PAN, can I do some other proprietary business, a bookstore? Yes. So I'll have to take a separate registration because nature of business is different. So with the same PAN, when you have 2 registrations, maybe in the same state, or maybe because state is changing. State is changing, registration has to change because GST registration is state-wise. अरे intra-state, interstate, वो सब है ना? So concept classes, Hyderabad, Telangana, concept classes, New Delhi. Are this with the same PAN? Yes. But separate registration? Yes. Then what we are called distinct entity. Clear? Right. So if you import the services without consideration, but it's like distinct person, okay, between related person, then also you are liable for GST. चलो इसको देखते हैं कैसे करेंगे. Raj CA has a registered office in Daman. He has also obtained separate registration in a state of Madhya Pradesh. Raj shall be treated as distinct person in respect of Madhya Pradesh and Daman. Very common example now. CMA, CA in practice, they have 30, 40, 50 partners across India. We have 8 partners in Hyderabad, 2 in Pune, 1 in Kolkata, 2 in Chennai, 3 in Agra. It's a big partnership firm. Followed all of you? So like this, different registration with the same PAN. AK Associates. So AK Associates, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Nagpur, Delhi, Agra. It will be called as distinct entity. Now why this definition is important? वो पढ़ते हैं. Distinct entity आपको समझ में आ गया. आ जाओ. I know some of you like मैम बहुत ज़्यादा example दे दिए chapter में. But there are few examples which I have literally taken from study material because they are asked in exam. ये देखो. Are you importing services? Yes. With consideration? Yes. Related to business? Yes. Taxable. Import of services with consideration? Not related to business. Personal service. To fight my property case with my brother and all. Still taxable. Now, import of services without consideration? Yeah. Related person in course of the business, yes, it is treated as taxable, but it's deemed supply because I am importing the service but I'm not paying any consideration, but this service is between the two distinct person. Yeah, abhi iska example karenge to clear ho jaye. And other cases it is not taxable. What is not taxable and why? Because dono, see, there are two pillars here. One is consideration, one is related to business. Now, what is happening in the last case? Are you importing services? Yes. Is there any consideration? No. Is it related to your business? No. Here it is between distinct and related person without money, but then it is related to business ना. तो deemed basis पे भी GST लगता है, जैसे notional rent, house property, like that. Here it is not tax. Let us do one example to make this clear. Reena received legal service for personal problem and paid 1,000 as legal fees to marry UK London. Whether above activity of import of service would be supply under section 7. Exactly this way question are asked. Is this supply? Yeah. Is this supply taxable? Yeah. Is it supply of goods or services? ऐसे ही question आएंगे. So, Reena has received legal service for personal problem from Mary. Does it come under import of service? Yeah. The term section 7(1) भी अगर याद रहे तो ठीक है, नहीं तो मत लिखो पूरा. But supply includes import of service for consideration £1,000, whether or not related to furtherance of business. ये देखो, not related to business. Second case. Legal advice received by Reena for her personal service for consideration. Is it liable for GST? Yes. Personal service not related to business. Second case. But is it for consideration? Yes. Liable for GST? Yes. If in the above case, both of them are real sisters and no consideration is paid, then will it change your answer? No. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Why? Please do this again, this question as many times as you want to do. There is no consideration and it is not for the business also. Yeah, okay, sorry. Consideration to hai, but they are real sisters. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Reena and Mary are real sisters. No consideration is paid. 7(1)(c), third case. अभी ये इधर था. 7(1)(b). Reena and Mary. Are they importing services? Yes. For money? Yes. 1,000 points. Is it related to business? No, personal. So here, 7(1)(b). लिख दो यहाँ फ्लो चार्ट. This is 7(1)(c). Import of service by taxable person from a related person or from any of his other establishment, it will be treated as supply. You got it? Why? Because Reena and Mary are now related. किसने बोला ऐसा? Related की definition में आ गए. 7(1)(c). Who said that? Because they are real sisters. तो relative की definition में आ गया. Is there a consideration? Yes. It's not related to business. Still it will come. What is the third case? Further in the above case, both of them are real sisters. And Reena receives legal advice for her business. But she didn't pay anything. Oh, see. Are they related? Yes. Ye wala case. She didn't pay anything without consideration. Yeah? Then what will be your answer? 7(1)(c). Same. Taxable hoga. Without consideration है but related person में है and this time it's not personal, it's related to business, furtherance of business. See, without consideration, related distinct person, still it will be liable for GST if it is only for business purpose. एक तो import of service without consideration between relatives, that too personal. Why do you want to pay GST? Only if it is in furtherance of business, तो फिर GST. Okay, I know it's looking little technical to some of you. Hai, supply. Supply ka definition, the more better you do, the time of supply, the value of supply, one class. Value of supply, the concept, the question answer, booster notes in a single class. Because now only you know supply. It doesn't include central government subsidies like that. Okay. आ जाओ, उसी को एक बार रिपीट करेंगे एंड आई थिंक वी स्टॉप हियर टुडे एंड वी विल कंटिन्यू द रिमेनिंग पार्ट, वेदर इट इज सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज, नेगेटिव लिस्ट, कॉम्पोजिट सप्लाई, कॉम्पोजिट एंड मिक्स सप्लाई, हॉट फेवरेट फॉर एमसीक्यू, वो कल करेंगे. Import of services with consideration in course of furtherance of business is treated as supply. Import of service without consideration, related person is treated as supply. Other cases, it's not treated as supply. You're importing services without consideration, no related person, not related to business. It's not a supply, not taxable. कोई लेना देना. This we will continue now tomorrow. What are the cases wherein it is treated as deemed supply? There are 4 cases. Even though there is no supply, it is treated as deemed supply. One of the beautiful and repeatedly asked question is like stock transfer. I'll draw a diagram and make you write. Then whether this is supply of goods and services, this we will read. And last one comes is composite supply. Can you see all these examples? Yes, ही है. जैसे ये देखो, X is unregistered, plans to pursue higher education in USA. He receives consultancy. 5 lakh. Does it qualify as supply? Yeah. चेक करो एक बार, आप ही चेक करो क्वेश्चन. सप्लायर तो अनरजिस्टर्ड है. Supply includes import of service for consideration, whether in course of furtherance of business or not. It's personal, but is it with money? Yeah. Will it qualify for supply? Yes. So like this, many more examples are there. Read it. Of course, I'll discuss it tomorrow. And then composite and mixed supply. Composite and mixed supply can be taught in 5 minutes. Very, very important. कल करेंगे. Did you understand today's class? Today I divided it into two parts. First part, we took all definitions. Who is supplier, who is recipient, what is goods. And next we started with two things. Supply ka definition and import of services. Two things I have completed, two things I have left for tomorrow. Okay? So that's all for today. Study and come the examples from 21 to 30 also. पीछे जो दिए हैं ना, you can do it now based on this. And for every example, refer back. Yeah, import of service with consideration. Personal भी है तो भी taxable. अभी देखो, I have imported the services for education. It's personal for education of my son. But then is it for consideration? Yeah. Import of services without consideration? Yeah. But is it related to business? Yeah. Deemed supply. Import of service without consideration? Yeah. And personal, not related to business, not taxable. And that Reena's case also, you check it again. Any doubt you have, you can ask and put it in the comment box. Okay. Tomorrow we will complete this class. So one more live class we will take. And I think after every chapter, I'll see if I can add on with the backside MCQs. We will surely take that. Okay. So tomorrow, third class is also for supply. Then we will start with composition and section 9 and all. Notes लिखना जरूरी है. Furtherance of business. You can't write related to business taxable. Right? No, in course of furtherance of business. Use that language. Okay? Right. That's all. So what is our takeaway today? For a very strong mindset, you always have a choice. Dipti ma'am started the class 15 minutes power of अरे छोड़ो आज नहीं लेना कल की कल देखी जाएगी. Again you all rejoined because you are also committed to study on time and complete the course. I am also committed so that 15th November to 1st December you get time for studies and you write grand test. Okay, right. अच्छा, is it clear to you what kind of questions are asked? अभी जो रीना का किया ना, this is a 5-mark question. See, after a time you should say, ma'am, supply में मेरे marks पूरे ऐसे ही आएगा. A has given goods to B without consideration. They'll give some case and you'll have to. That's why I'm talking about features of supply repeated, right? Thank you so much, all of you. Bye-bye. See you all tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe till exam. 55% of my regular viewers have not subscribed. And the more the number of the subscribers and viewers, YouTube will share it within the first 24 hours. Even those who are live on Zoom, can you please just go and like, share and subscribe. Comment if it is clear, and if you have any doubt on any page number, still comment. Hope you all are writing the notes, what I made you write, right? Bye. Bye, all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Wish you also a very good day. Bye. Sharp at 11, we'll start tomorrow. Send me your doubts or anything you want to cover in detail in advance. थोड़ा सा लॉ की